Hello and welcome everybody to a common question I get across all my videos. Obviously, specific videos will have specific questions, but across all my videos I get the question a lot, well, how do you identify clubs? And I'm a little hesitant to share this with everybody because then it makes it harder for me to acquire stuff like this. So just by way of reference, you know, this is a painful video for me to make. I'm like, don't buy all these up because these are already expensive as they are. And you can see I use it so much, it's actually, I have 2 volumes now instead of 1. The Golf Club Identification Price Guide 4. IV from 50 to 98. That is a huge chunk of the golf clubs that I review. So this is a great way to look up clubs, okay? So highly recommended. I don't want to, you know, obviously this is copywritten. I can't just show you everything, but there's lots of good text here. Let's see if I can just show you something. There's lots of text and it goes into like what exactly you're looking for, how to identify it, you know, and you know, the year and all that other stuff. So this is a really useful guide for a lot of golf clubs. By the way, this is on my poker chip table where I do poker chip reviews. Look at these awesome classic poker chips. I think the company is named Classic Poker Chips. What is it? Whatever, pokerchip.com or whatever they sell them. Either way, I digress. So this is a huge tool that I use a lot, obviously, you know, to a point of it falling apart. So let's get this out of the way. Yeah, we'll talk about those here in a minute. The other thing that I do are catalog magazines. So like Golf Digest, for example, it's great to identify clubs because they'll always have ads and things. It's like Cobra, don't blink. So Golf Digest is just a bunch of modern Golf Digest. So modern clubs, if you have 10 years worth of Golf Digest magazines, that's a great way to do it. What do we have here? I just grabbed, so I have a kind of a dresser, just some drawers full of golf, whatever this is, golf ads, golf catalogs, sports catalogs, Sears catalogs. I just have tons of this stuff. And so like with Odyssey, for example, this is the 1998 Odyssey golf catalog. Okay, so you go through here and you can see their whole range of 98. You'll notice in 98 there is no 2-ball putter, which is one of their most common things. So they have, you know, it's like these things are incredibly awesome to have, you know, just these specific brand catalogs that are extremely useful. Oh, here's, what is this? This looks like a 55. Yeah, for 1955, Walter Hagen catalog. Here's a sports catalog, just general sports. I mean, they have everything in here, like fishing line and everything. But like as you flip through this, guns, awesome rifles right there, cleaning supplies, and lots of times in here, let's see if I can find it. Lots of times in here, look at these sweet watches they have. How's that for vintage? So lots of times in the sports section, so obviously it's a sports catalog, they'll have a couple pages. Here's baseball. Look at these awesome retro baseball mitts. I'm just wasting time today. Does anybody want some vintage arrows? Help you identify it? I thought it was after, so here are duck calls. I thought it was after the guns. Fish hooks, fishing lures. Fishing lures are cool. I could have sworn I saw it. Here, wait a second. Golf balls. All right, here we go. So check this out. So this is just a sporting goods store. And they have these awesome catalogs. And so if you're looking to identify like retail things, they talk about Titleist golf balls, Ram, Wilson. Look at these awesome golf shoes. Jack Nicklaus golf shoe. And so here we go. You know, you get these awesome like Sam Snead Blue Ridge. What year is this? 1975. So like you're looking at, like I see these Sam Sneads all over the place. You're like, there's a Sam Snead Blue Ridge right there. And if it looks like that, then you know it's from 1975. Envoy, K28, Snead Young, you know, Patty Berg, all of these. Mickey Wright Crest, Ram Tour. So I mean, you can see how valuable like all these things are when you're talking about identifying things. Oh man, don't even, I should start vintage sports in general. I mean, it's so cool, the history of sports and everything. The other thing that you've probably seen over here, so these are immensely helpful as well. These are just old catalogs that have been compiled by Jim Kaplan. And again, you know, these are sold as books and there's copyright on these possibly. I don't know. So it's not like I'm just, you know, people are like, well, you should just take pictures of all these and just put it on the internet. you know, I'm a content creator. I don't want people stealing my content, so Oh, so here's another great way to look at interesting clubs. Does that look familiar? It's just really interesting when you look through Sotheby's, like the auction catalogs. They have lots of information here about the Gibson, you know, circa, you know, 1900s. So lots of these clubs don't have like a specific date, but they, you know, they're very interesting. So this is a great way when, like, I'm talking more about collecting than necessarily like clubs I'm going to hit and review. So when you're talking about collectibles, it's always good to get like these auction catalogs. So here's another Wilson. These are old pro shop Wilson catalogs. Here's H&B, which is the same company that owns Louisville Slugger. And then this is for my poker chip. So like I have the same thing for poker chips. I have lots of like documentations and newspaper cutouts and things about poker chip ads and things. So the answer is, you know, books. That's where I go. I'd recommend these Jim Kaplan series for HB, Wilson, and McGregor. I recommend old catalogs, and I definitely recommend this, the Golf Club Price Identification and Price Guide. Again, a lot of it's text. They're not going to have as many pictures as like a catalog, generally speaking, for every single club, but it is really handy when you're talking about identifying clubs. So I don't know if that was helpful or not. There's lots of activity going on upstairs, it sounds like, so let me know your thoughts. How do you identify clubs? Oh, I should mention, I do need to give credit to, it's the PGA Value Guide. If you just internet search that, PGA Value Guide, it will help you look for modern clubs. My experience is anything after 2005, 2010 will usually be in there. There are exceptions. You're going to have to, there are some smaller brands where if you're looking for something specific, you're going to have to look through old catalogs or old forums where they talk about specific things. What's the one that still makes persimmons? Louisville? Is that the one? I forget. But there's some companies that still make some pretty awesome persimmons and things, and you're not going to find those on the PGA Value Guide. It's just the big names like Nike, Callaway, and Ping and those things. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Any other recommendations, write them in the comments below. Like I said, this is how I do it. And there's more than one way to do things. Like lots of the clubs listed in here are listed in other catalogs or in these Jim Kaplan compilations of catalogs. So, or sporting goods store catalogs. Anyway, there's a lot of information out there. Don't go out on eBay and buy all these up because I want them. Either way. As usual, if you want to support this channel, I'm accepting support on Patreon. I just filmed a behind the scenes video this week. So if you would like to support me on there and see some of the behind the scenes things, then $1. It's just general support, so $1 a month would help. You can meet us over on Patreon. I like to message back and forth with my patrons. And you can visit my Amazon shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. How do you identify old clubs? Do you have a favorite method, a favorite book, something that's missing from this list? Or from this list, I guess it's a pile of things. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I am the Vintage Golfer.